As Myanmar's permanent representative to the United Nations, Uchomoton has been a powerful advocate for restoring democracy since February 26, 2021, just weeks after the military coup. In those early days, the situation was chaotic. People were struggling to keep their families safe while opposing the junta. Amidst this turmoil, Uchomoton took a courageous stand by raising the three-finger salute in support of the civil disobedience movement during the 76th United Nations General Assembly. His bold gesture not only brought hope to the movement, but also demonstrated his unwavering commitment to representing Myanmar's cause on the world stage. In December 2022, the UN General Assembly adopted Resolution 2669, condemning the military's abuses and attacks on civilians since the coup. The resolution called for the release of political prisoners, the restoration of democratic institutions, and dialogue with the National Unity Government, demands that remain unmet. As we approach the 79th United Nations General Assembly, the Credentials Committee's decisions are crucial for Myanmar's future. The United Nations must uphold its commitment to maintaining international peace and security, fostering friendly relations among nations, and advancing human rights and social progress. We are deeply grateful for the support over the past 3 years. We need leaders like Uchomoton who are dedicated to a brighter future for Myanmar. Protecting Myanmar's citizens is not just our duty, but also the responsibility of the United Nations. Our voices must be heard. We must continue to stand united.
We still need stronger and immediate action from the UN Security Council to stop the killing of innocent civilians in Myanmar.
This is the end game. This is the end game.
ဦးကျော်မထွန်းကိုဂရင်းနီကရဲဘော်တွေနဲ့အတူတူထောက်ခံပါတယ်
ကမ္ဘာကုလသမဂ္ဂနိုင်ငံပေါင်းချုပ်အသင်းကြီးတွင်လက်ရှိတာဝန်ထမ်းဆောင်နေသောမြန်မာတန်အမတ်ကြီးဦးကျော်မိုးထွန်းအားမြန်မာပြည်သူလူထုတရက်လုံး၏ကိုစားပြုအဖြစ်ဆက်လက်တည်ရှိစေရေးအတွက်စစ်အာဏာရှင်စနစ်အမြင့်ပြတ်အဆုံးသတ်ရေးတွင်ပူးပေါင်းပါဝင်နေသောတော်လှန်သောအမှုပညာရှင်တယောက်အနေနဲ့အလေးအနက်တိုက်တွန်းတောင်းဆိုဆန္ဒပြုအပ်ပါသည်
ဦးကျော်မိုးထွန်းကိုရေပါရင်တိုင်းတိုင်းရင်35မှာလဲတနိုင်ငံလုံးနဲ့အတူတရားရဟန်းတို့ထောက်ခံပါသည်တော်ရဲ့
Hello everyone, my name is Kokole and welcome to Learn and Share Social Media. Today, we will talk about Credential campaign at the United Nations General Assembly in 2024 under the title of Our Ambassador Myanmar Voice. First of all, let me introduce all of my special guests. First lady speaker is Ma Kintini Nandaso.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
Hi. She is an organizer of Alliance for Democracy in Myanmar and studying political science at the UC Berkeley. And next speaker is our Chin brother, Mr. Dom Cook. Dom.
Hi, everyone.
Thank you, Dom. He is the president of Chin community of USA DC area and also Revolution Force Central Committee of ZOMI Federal Union PDF Zoland. Our last speaker is Umama. Hi, Umama.
Hello.
He is a member of National Unity Consultative Council, NUCC, Task Force for 2024 UNGA campaign. Also, he is a UNCC Council member representing the Myanmar Labour Alliance MLA 2019. His mother organization is Confederation of Trade Union Myanmar 2015 CTUM. Before we start the program, let me introduce brief history of this Credential Campaign CC 2024. As you all know that, Myanmar permanent representative to the United Nations, Ucho Moton has been powerful advocate for restoring democracy since February 26, 2021. Just a few weeks after the military coup, in those early days, the situation was chaotic. People were struggling to keep their families safe while opposing the junta. Amid this turmoil, Ucho Moton took a courageous stand by raising the three fingers, salute in support of civil disobedience movement during the 76th United Nations General Assembly. His bold gesture not only brought hope to the movement, but also demonstrated his unwavering commitment to representing Myanmar cause on the world stage. That is why we are asking world leader, number one, to allow him to keep representing the people of Myanmar who are suffering the most brutal regime in the world. And secondly, please allow him to speak at the upcoming 2022 UNGA. Let me start with our first speaker, Mark Kintini Nandaso. Nanda, you are welcome.
Thank you so much, Go. Hi, everyone. All the Revolution brothers and sisters across the globe who are watching here. Hello. We are gathering here today for a very important reason, and I would like to make several main points regarding 79th UN Credential Global Campaign. So in the heart of Southeast Asia region, Myanmar or Burma is gripped by a really huge crisis that is threatened not only in the local area, but also the lives of millions of people around the region, entire region, and it destabilizes it. So I would like to first point out this issue is not just Myanmar's issue, Burma's issue. This is the regional issue and global issue. Because of the military coup in 2021, it affects the democracy inside the country and also around the region. So it creates chaos, and that turmoil of human rights abuses and humanitarian crisis and civil war, all these mixtures of chaos, one man emerged, who is our ambassador, Ucho Moton. So he actually, acted a bold move in the United Nations floor, raising his three finger, the sign of the symbol of revolution. And he clearly declared the entire world to stand with people of Burma and to work for the United Nations mission of peace and stability. That's why we're here to support him to continue working for the people of Burma and for the peace and security of the entire region and the world. That's one point, the first point I want to make. Another point I would like to make is the having Ucho Moton as a representative of Burma is not just a symbolic gesture, symbolic political gesture. It is actually a lifeline for people of Burma, and also, like I mentioned, for the entire nation for the peace and security, and also the relationship, diplomatic relationship among nations and international cooperation, coordination, all these important things, the lifelines of the region and also the local politics. The legitimate representative of Ujamoton ensure, true aspiration on the war stage, and that will be the instrumental in calling for international intervention to protect civilians and advocating for humanitarian aid to reach those in desperate need. That is the second point I would like to make. It is not just for the symbolic political gesture. We need him to be there as our lifeline. And the third point I would like to make is for global community, not only Burmese community across the world, global community need to urge for Ujamoton to really fully perform and, take his duties and responsibility at United Nations, because there are many limitations right now, diplomatic limbo he is in because of the military junta opposition to his position to create very complex diplomatic situation. So that potentially limiting his influence with some UN member states. So the limitation places Ujamoton and Myanmar representation in diplomatic uncertainty, affecting the country's ability to engage fully in UN processes and debates. So we would like to uplift all these limitations, and we want to urge the international community to voice up and ask for his right to speak and right to fully participate at the United Nations. I think these three main points I would like to make for now, and if anyone has any questions or in the further discussion, we will talk about all the other facts. Thank you so much, Ago.
Thank you so much, Mark Kintini Nanaso. We really appreciate it. Next speaker is the president of the Chin community of USA DC area. Revolution Force Central Committee, ZOMI, Federal Union, PDF, Zolan. Coco, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Okole. Thank you for giving me a chance to speak out on behalf of the people of Myanmar today. I would like to separate that into three parts for my speech. The first part, I would like to talk about why Our Excellency Ambassador Ujamoton is our voice in the United Nations, and secondly, why the international community should support him. And lastly, I would like to pass along a message to the people of Myanmar, why we should all stand behind him and support him, whatever measures is required. While Okole, we have been gathering and expressing our voices in front of the UN building in New York, and we are marching on the streets of New York for 3 years in a row now. And we now are approaching the 4th time and the 4th year of the United Nations Credential campaign since the military coup and the 79 UN Assembly. The situation in our homeland, Myanmar, remains horrible. Even, I would say, even getting worsened. It's been nearly 4 years of sacrifices, thousands of innocents being murdered. Civilians are, I would say, slaughtered, not just moderate, slaughtered. Well, futures of the people of Myanmar are constantly being ripped away without a conscience or empathy for the defenseless population of Myanmar, our common enemy, the sect, indiscriminately attacks, murders, burnt houses, thousands. I would say it's close to 100,000 houses, and destroys all over Myanmar, all over the country. The sect puts themselves above the law, and there is nothing protecting the civilian, the people from their crimes. In these dark times, cling on to the glimmer of hope to motivate us into continue this fight for our democracy, a fight for a just and peaceful future. One of our people, Myanmar's people, hope lies in Ujamoton, His Excellency Ujamoton, our ambassador, our voice. When we look back our history, it's a very raw, remarkable, extraordinary in Myanmar history that everyone in Myanmar and the Myanmar diaspora, like me and you across the globe, except a handful of sects, give their support, full support to our ambassador Ujamoton as our dear envoy, their voices in the United Nations. In Myanmar, we have 8 major ethnic groups and 135 tribes. And all ethnic groups, unbelievable. All ethnic groups and all of the 135 tribes of Myanmar, Burma, are vastly endorsing Ujamoton. It's amazing. It's amazing, unbelievable. It never happened before. He's among a very few leaders in Myanmar who gets the support like that in our history, in the history of Myanmar. I have to mention, when it comes to UN, also I have to mention another person. The other person who I would like to mention is U Tak, who was a Burmese diplomat and the third Secretary General of the United Nations for 10 years, where he was chosen to head the war body from 1961 to 1971. It's a joke, but it's true that back in the days, people talk about him, and he was the only official allowed to smoke in the presence of the Burma moderate Prime Minister U Nu. He was the only one. And he was also very famous for his courageous, similar to same as Ujamoton. So just weeks after the military coup, Ujamoton took a courageous stand by raising. We all know that, the raising the 3 fingers salute in support of the civilian disobedient movement during the 76th United Nations General Assembly. His bold gesture not only brought hope to the movement, but also demonstrated his firm commitment to representing Myanmar's cause on the world stage. Since then, he fought many battles, many issues for us, for Myanmar people, and he firmly stands still for the people of Myanmar and for the freedom and work towards and building our hope, the federal democracy in Myanmar, which I call it a new Myanmar. Second, I would like to urge and respectfully request the international community and members of the United Nations, especially the 9 members of the Credential Committee, to acknowledge Ujamoton as official ambassador who represents the people of Myanmar. He must retain his position and grant him full legal rights, which is he already got, as a permanent representative to the United Nations, including participating in the General Assembly of the United Nations. His insights and perspective being invaluable in accurately representing the situation in the ground of Myanmar and the aspirations of the Myanmar people, like me, you, diasporas across the world. The people of Myanmar says Ambassador Ujamoton must remain as Myanmar's UN envoy because his presence is very critical for several reasons. I'd like to point out 3 reasons. It's critical that his presence is important. The first one is he provides a legitimate voice for the people of Myanmar within the United Nations system. And second, his role ensures that the international community hears directly from a representative who reflects the will of the Myanmar citizens across the globe. His continued presence, lastly, his continued presence helps maintain global focus on the crisis in Myanmar and facilitate more effectively United Nations actions. Moreover, we, the people of Myanmar, commend the United Nations a consistent advocacy for human rights and democracy in Myanmar, including calls for full implementation of UN Security Council Resolution 2669, which was adopted. We respectfully request that the United Nations and the 9 Credential Committee to ensure Ambassador Uchamoton retains his position, safeguarding Myanmar's accurate representation at the UN and the world stage. Your support, the international support, the 9 Credential Committee support is crucial and critical to our ongoing struggle for freedom, democracy, and human rights in Myanmar. With your help, with everyone's help, with the helps of the international community, with the helps of the 9 Credential Committee, we can continue fighting for a better future for our country and our children. Lastly, I would like to give a message to the people of Myanmar to support the UN, the United Nations Credential campaign, wherever you are in the world, whichever country you live in, and whoever you are. Whoever you are means whichever ethnic groups that you belong to. Let our nation, let every nation on earth hear our voice. We are deeply grateful for the support over the past 3 years. We need leaders like Uchamoton. We need him, who dedicated a brighter future for our country, our homeland, protecting our citizens of Myanmar, not just our duty, but also the responsibility of the United Nations. Our voice must be heard. Remember, we have to stand together. We must continue to stand united. Our voice must be heard. All nations on earth. Uchamoton has urged the international community, raising his 3 fingers. He said, take action by any means necessary, any measures in front of the United Nations. The United Nations must uphold its commitment to maintain international peace and security, fostering friendly relations among nations and advancing human rights and social progress. To the people of Myanmar and the diaspora, like us, like all ethnic groups around the world, your role is important, vital. We have to amplify our voices. In many ways, we can organize demonstrations, digital campaigns, online campaigns to show the world to the support for Uchamoton and the National Unity Government. And second, we can lobby our host governments, like for example in United Nations or UK or Australia. We have to urge our representative using our rights of votes to support Uchamoton's position at the UN. And also, we have to educate and inform our people and the people across the world. Keep our communities informed and engaged in the pro-democracy movement, which is not just for Myanmar. It's also important for every people who love freedom on earth, who love human rights on earth. Together, we can ensure that Myanmar's fight for democracy, Myanmar fight for freedom remains a priority on the world stage. Let us unite to campaign the principle of justice, human rights, and the invincible spirit. I would say invincible spirit of our people, our Myanmar's people. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Don Cope. I really appreciate it, and USB is very informative. Our next speaker is a member of National Unity Council, Consultative Council, NUCC Task Force for 2024 UNGA campaign. Also, he is a NUCC Council member and representing the Myanmar Labour Alliance, MLA, 2019. His mother organization is Confederation of Trade Union Myanmar, 2015, CTUM. Umamong, welcome.
Thank you very much, Kukule, and thank you for the previous speakers on clarifying why we want what we want and requesting all of us to work together. From my part, the NUCC has been, let's say, part of the global campaign since 2021. We were part of the global campaign since 2021, participated in 2022, 23, and now this year. So it's also the fourth time that we are participating in the campaign. And also in the campaign, we have we agreed on the common objective, common subject of our ambassador, Myanmar's voice. So this is our, let's say, slogan that all of us have agreed upon. So this is something that we are showing in unity, that all of us together have just one voice at the UN General Assembly. This year, we are asking not only for Uchon Mothun to be, let's say, continued, but be recognized as a permanent representative with his full rights. We ask for his full rights because that's the only way that he will not be gagged. What we see is he's put in position, but he's gagged, his mouth is shut, and doesn't mean anything. So we are not insulting anybody, but it is an insult to our movement. And we do believe that Uchon Mothun, as a career diplomat, as a person who is supporting democratic changes, needs to be recognized as a permanent representative and given his full rights. And this is what we are calling for. And from here, we are calling all our international supporters, all the governments, to understand that the change is near. And why we are saying that? Because myself and Kokole, we were involved in the Credential challenge that we did in 2008. At the time, we were challenging the regime and we lost. But this time, our representative, Uchon Mothun, is already in the UN seat, and it is the regime trying to challenge for that position. So there is a big difference in the situation. And if you look on the ground, all investments are leaving, not because of the UN sanctions, which is good, but doesn't have any bite, not because of the US sanctions, but it's because the climate for financial investment is really, really bad, and which is the work done by May Online. So the on the ground situation is very bad. At the political level, it has changed. And on the ground, if you look at the territorial situation, you will notice that almost every day, the regime is losing its bases. We are talking about military bases with big howitzers, big mortars, and they are losing the ground every day, except for Yangon and, let's say, Naypyidaw. If you look at all the region, states, divisions, Zagai area, Magui area, if you look at Rakhine, the regime doesn't have any forces to uphold their flags. And then if you look at the economy, just like I said, it's going down the tube. Therefore, what we are saying is that the changes are already there. We are united in the request for Uchon Mothun's position. we are united that we call for U Chaw Mothong to be recognized as a permanent representative and be given his full rights to practice so that he can speak, he can discuss, he can lead the discussions. And we would like to call on the international community, please support us. This is a very short time frame for a revolution, because people say, well, it's the young people, the generation say it's already 3 years. Well, myself and Kokoli, we can say we were involved before that in a 24-year struggle. Compared to that, it is very fast. Things have changed very rapidly, and maybe the politicians cannot recognize those rapid changes and still assume that the regime is a strong military base. No, it is not. They have all the corruptions, just like Russia. They have all the corruptions. They have all the mistakes on the ground. And that is why we are saying we are winning. Please support us. And we need to have U Chaw Mothong this year's seat, as well as the coming year in this seat as a permanent representative, as well as practicing his full rights. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Umama. I really appreciate all of you, all of our speakers. Before I close our talk show, I'd like to share only one short video for Gen Z, what she's appealing for world leader.
Therefore, we support our Ambassador U Chaw Mothong to continue his role and let him speak at the 79th United Nations General Assembly in this September. We make this appeal from in front of the United Nations Plaza in San Francisco, California. For justice, for freedom, for Myanmar. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching Generation Z. They are migrated to here, forced to relocate to the United States, San Francisco Bay Area, and they are young generation attending college and actively involved in our movement. I really appreciate for everybody. Thank you so much for all speakers and all of our audience. And special thanks to my media team, designer, and videographer. They are working very hard and produce all video and all material to be ready for this campaign. I really appreciate it. My Learn and Share social media proudly serving and hosting this historical event, Credential campaign at the UNGA 2024. So let me close up with our slogan. Please raise up your 3 fingers.
Right hand, right hand.
Yeah, right hand, please. Our ambassador, Myanmar voice. Our ambassador,
Myanmar voice.
Our ambassador,
Myanmar's voice.
Our ambassador,
Myanmar voice.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Next time. Can you speak a little bit thanks to everybody and each of you? Nanda, could you please start it from?
Yes, thank you, Go. So in conclusion, when I mentioned this is not just a symbolic and this is a lifeline for us, I literally mean the lifeline for us. Currently this week, maybe most of you already heard the very sad news that military regime bomb on the refugee area and a lot of innocent kids died. That kind of tragedy is happening every moment in Burma. So I would like to arch 2 categories. The first one is for the world leader and people in the power position, such as U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, the Honorable Linda Thomas Greenfield, and all the other leaders. to first, please continue your firm stance against the military junta by denying them any platform, not only just the United Nations, any platform on the international stage, particularly at the United Nations. So their presence would only serve to legitimize their oppressive regime and undermine the very principles the UN stand for. So please, Ambassador Uchamoto must remain Myanmar UN representative. His presence is very vital for several reasons. He provides a legitimate voice for the people of Myanmar within the UN system, and his role ensures that the international community hears directly from a representative who reflects the will of Myanmar citizens. And his continued presence helps maintain global focus, not just Burma, global focus on the crisis, and facilitates more effective UN actions. And the second category is the war citizens and international community to please do whatever you can to support this campaign. Even buying T-shirt, wearing T-shirt, holding the sign, attending the rally, these seem like a small gesture or small action. But what you are actually doing is it's never about buying a T-shirt or wearing a T-shirt. You are actually protecting those lives of the children, those lives of the innocent citizens and women and people on the ground. So I would like to urge everyone from the international community to please support this United Nations Credential campaign any way you can. And we're gonna have our UN Credential rally on September 14 in San Francisco, United Nations Plaza, from 2 to 5. I would like to invite everyone to come join with us to fight this good fight for people of Burma and all the people around that region. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Duncan, you are welcome.
Thank you so much, Okole, giving me a chance to be a part of this show. And I would like to thank also all the technical team to make this happen. And would like to also thanks to the United Nations that helping us the past 3 years. Please keep helping us whatever you can, and also the international community. Please keep supporting to the people of Myanmar for fighting for freedom, fighting for their rights. And also, I would like to thank the people of Myanmar and the diaspora of Myanmar people across every nations in the world, that we must keep together. We must keep pushing. We are united more than ever before. All generation under Generation Z. We have the Generation Z, X, Y, Z, and all generations under one umbrella, under one issue, under one goal. So let's keep fighting until the end. Let's hear our voice to the world, and we must win. We are at the end game now. In Myanmar, we have 352,000 cities, and out of 352, about 80 towns controlled by revolution forces now, and more than half are currently fighting the battles. So the military, the SEC control only less than 100 towns now. About roughly 80, 90 towns now. So they are not, controlling the country anymore. So more than half of the country controlled by us, controlled by our forces. So we are close to the end. Let's keep fighting to the end. Thank you very much. And also there's a rally in United Nations, in front of the United Nations, and on the streets of New York on September 21st. Please join. If you can join in person, you can join by voices, campaigning, and even students. So let's say students. you can talk to your friends and family, your teachers in school, also workers. We can talk to our colleagues, our co-workers at work. So let's keep campaigning for the freedom of Myanmar and for freedom of the people of Myanmar. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Donkop. And Umamong, you are very welcome.
Thank you. I just wanted to fill in that we all are united, especially the people inside the country, because during 1988 or during 1996, the internal movement broke down after about 2 years. But now the movement is still very strong, especially the civil disobedience movement workers, the public service workers who are from the CDM movement. They are still struggling very hard for their own livelihood, but still continuing the struggle, non-violent struggle within the country. The young people, the PDFs who have taken up weapons because of the regime's attacks on them are still working very hard with ethnic nationalities. So these are the things that are not seen on the, let's say, international media, but these are the things that have happened on the ground. That's a big difference from what was in 1988 or what was in 1996. So this new movement, the Spring Revolution, also enabled Ucho Moton to continue as an ambassador. So the changes are there, and one of the big changes is all of us are united on this platform of having and requesting Ucho Moton as the ambassador. So I would say this is something very different from the previous revolutions. And we say that, hey, we're going to make the end game very soon. The tipping point is here, and the regime is on the defensive. We just want all of you to look closely further down than just staying on what was said 20 years ago. The senior people also seem to assume, well, the regime is very tenacious. Yes, it was tenacious, but it is not tenacious now. It's breaking down. These guys don't have the power. These guys don't have the manpower. That is why they are recruiting, or let's say falsely pushing people into the military. That is seen on the ground. That is why we're saying that, look, the end game is very close, and we all are united together. Like Don Cup was saying, all the ethnics, all the tribes are together. So please do not ask any questions. Are you guys united? Hey, we are walking together on a common platform. Please come and help us. And if you can't help, no problem. Don't start making this issue of, are you all united? We are united, and we will win. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, all of our speakers, and special thanks to all of our audience. I'm really appreciate you joining this show. So our ambassador, Myanmar Voice, this is a time to support our hero, Ucho Moton, our ambassador, Myanmar Voice. Thank you so much, everyone.